Boost your garden naturally. Top flowers and herbs for pollinators. Welcome back to EcoAlchemy. Today, we're diving into one of my favorite topics: how to turn your spring garden into a buzzing, blooming haven for pollinators like bees, butterflies, hummingbirds, and more. It's easier than you might think, and the rewards are absolutely massive for your garden, for local ecosystems, and honestly, even for your own soul. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's jump in. When we think about planting for pollinators, we're doing way more than just making our gardens pretty. Pollinators are the invisible workers behind almost everything we grow. Without them, we wouldn't have most fruits, veggies, nuts, or even many flowers. There's no exaggeration. They support 1 out of every 3 bites of food we eat. That's why when you plant with pollinators in mind, you're actively supporting nature, boosting your harvests, and helping struggling species find safe, healthy places to thrive. Let's start by breaking down the key elements you'll want to plant this spring to create a true pollinator paradise. First up, nectar-rich flowers. These are your main attraction for adult pollinators. The goal is simple: offer a continuous buffet from early spring through fall. Right now, it's critical to plant early bloomers like lupins, penstemon, columbine, poppies, wild violets, and bee balm. These flowers wake up hungry pollinators emerging after a long winter. Bonus tip: native flowers are absolute gold. They're adapted to your region, and local pollinators recognize and prefer them. Herbs are secret weapons most people forget about. Many herbs, if you let them flower, are like magnets for bees and butterflies. Some of the best ones to plant now include basil, thyme, oregano, cilantro, dill, and chives. Letting these herbs bloom adds layers of support. Plus, you get delicious kitchen harvests along the way. We also need to think about host plants for caterpillars. If you want butterflies, you need to feed their babies, not just the adults. Key spring options include milkweed for monarch butterflies, parsley, fennel, and dill for swallowtails, and violets for some species of fritillary butterflies. Sneaking in even a small patch for these plants helps complete the pollinator life cycle and boosts butterfly populations over time. Now, planting strategy matters too. You don't need a huge space to make an impact. Even a few containers or a tucked-away garden bed can become a pollinator magnet. Group your flowers together in clumps rather than spreading them out. Pollinators prefer clumps. It's like finding a buffet instead of just a snack. Use different flower shapes too: flat, tubular, small, and large. This invites a diversity of pollinators, from tiny native bees to bigger butterflies and hummingbirds. And make sure you stagger your bloom times. Planting early, mid, and late season flowers ensures that your garden always has something available, no matter the time of year. Want a quick starter pack you can plant this week? For early season color, try wild violets, penstemon, and lupins. For the middle of the season, bee balm, echinacea, and coreopsis keep the party going. And for late season feeding, sunflowers, goldenrod, and asters are pollinator favorites. Even adding just a few plants from each bloom period can create a strong continuous flow of visitors. Another thing many gardeners overlook: trees and shrubs can play a huge role in feeding pollinators too. Early blooming trees like crabapples, cherries, plums, and serviceberries offer a massive nectar source right when pollinators need it most. Even small flowering shrubs like spirea, viburnum, and elderberry can transform your garden's ecosystem by offering both food and shelter. Let's talk color for a second. Different pollinators are attracted to different colors. Bees love blue, purple, and yellow flowers. Butterflies tend to be drawn toward bright reds and oranges. Hummingbirds go crazy for vivid reds and deep pinks. When you're designing your garden, think about mixing colors strategically to invite the widest possible range of pollinators into your space. Planting structure matters too. Layer your garden by planting low growers in the front, medium-height flowers in the middle, and taller varieties in the back. This layering mimics natural ecosystems and provides places for different types of pollinators to feed, hide, and thrive. Plus, it makes your garden look fuller and more vibrant. While you're busy planting, remember, Chemical pesticides and herbicides are one of the biggest threats to pollinators. Even organic sprays can be harmful if applied at the wrong times. If you absolutely must treat a problem, do it very early in the morning or late in the evening when pollinators aren't active. Better yet, focus on companion planting and attracting natural predators like ladybugs and lacewings to do the pest control work for you. Another bonus tip: provide a small water source. A shallow dish filled with pebbles and clean water gives bees and butterflies a safe place to land and drink. If you already have a bird bath, add a few flat stones or floating corks so insects can rest without drowning. Keeping water sources clean and topped up is one of the simplest ways to support pollinators, especially during the hot summer months. And finally, don't be afraid to leave a little bit of wildness. Let a few weeds grow in tucked-away corners. Leave dead plant stems standing over winter. These messy spaces provide crucial habitat for solitary bees, overwintering butterflies, and other beneficial insects. Sometimes the best thing you can do for pollinators is to step back and let nature do its thing. Building a pollinator paradise is one of the most rewarding projects you can take on in your garden. It doesn't have to be perfect or complicated. Every flower you plant, every patch you leave wild, every pesticide you skip, it all adds up. And your garden will thank you too, with bigger harvests, more color, and a deeper sense of connection to the natural world. If you enjoyed this guide and want even more daily tips on creating a vibrant, sustainable garden, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to EcoAlchemy. Share this with a friend who's passionate about gardening and nature. The more people planting for pollinators, the better. And let me know in the comments, what's your favorite flower to grow for bees or butterflies? Thanks again for hanging out with me today. Until next time, keep your hands dirty and your hearts in the garden.